Okay. All right. Why Maritza?
Why Maritza? I didn't want to sound like a villager. So the name is actually Maritza. But I wasn't going to be on air saying, yo, 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 it's your girl Maritza. So we went with Maritza. It's your girl Maritza. This one actually still gives me nightmares occasionally. Happened 10 years ago, Mirrors 2013. It was a collaboration with Open Mic and some people who shall not be named or stoned. Yeah. Only because I get many good things out of exercising this skill, and you'll think I'm lying, but it's patience. I'm really, really patient. I also have a sister called Patience, but I'm very, very patient. It's a special skill. What is the one thing I cannot live without? I would say prayer, yeah, because I talk a lot, and the only person that has more time than God is God. So prayer, yeah.
We are back to cutting onions.
What are you cutting?
Welcome back. CDJ is back, and today we have an intruder. Yeah, she did the window thing, but we are happy to have her because it's been a long time coming. You look at Danny's happiness.
Great, you
can't resist.
Great.
Shut up.
Nothing.
Maritza.
Yeah, well, today. What are you talking about?
Don't sell yourself dreams.
Great.
I'm happy to be here. I'm really happy to be here. I like that you guys are on the educational side of the internet. So when we see you coming, we know we're about to receive, masterclass style of interaction.
Yes, please.
Yeah, and then you invite guests like me.
There's stuff in there.
Hey,
these things that you're not seeing, first we see.
The Bible says have faith.
Yeah.
So I'm
and
here.
surely you should. But if you're new here and you haven't subscribed, please let us be guided. It's all about subscribe, like, share, tell a friend to tell a friend. And if you've been an existing champion,
Come back always.
keep coming back. We love you. And let's dive right in. So, Maritza would like to know a little bit. Okay, they would like to know for us.
First,
Google me, baby. You guys, I Googled myself.
And what did you find?
Next channel. No, like everything I found was not like what I imagined I would find when I Google myself. Because, I worked at a place where we're encouraged to Google ourselves.
Okay.
And I recently did it and I said,
This is what people find.
speak less in life.
Pleased?
I was displeased. They are quoting me, misquoting me. Everyone thinks I said this. They are great. Anyway, I'm online. You can Google me, but I describe myself in very few words. I would say I am a spoken word artist, a highly flavored woman whose instrument is voice.
She said
And I use
flavored.
Yeah, I use my voice to be instrumental. So that's who I am. Spoken word artist, highly flavored. And I use my instrument, that is a voice, to be instrumental.
My radio career is going to begin highly flavored. From today onwards, just see what I am.
It is the voice. What is it?
Copyrights reserved.
Okay, yeah.
I'll send an email.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll talk.
Good job.
After this. All right, cool.
Yeah.
So let's get you to know Maritza.
So, besides that, what can I say about myself? I think how I would even come up to that introduction is I had a poem once called Speak.
Yeah.
It's a spoken word poem by university student from Connecticut. I think her name was Honeygum or something. And in Speak, she was like, you need to use your voice as an instrument to be instrumental. And you guys, the chatterbox
That you are.
that lives within, so that
You let it out.
and I was like, why can't I have an entire career just on voice?
Okay.
And that's how I started. Started with spoken word, got on radio, became a certified voice actor. Now I've started even reading Like, if you want me to read your novel for you in a nice voice, not this one. This one is for Babubuka, But Chibasi, yeah. Here we are just talking. Yeah. So I've actually I've been able to do that. I think I've been more than blessed to do that because I remember trying to get into radio and someone was like, "Yeah, man, it takes a long time. I've been trying for 7 years." I said, these voice careers are not easy. But no, I would like to say I've had a blessed walk in the park. So that's really who I am. I am a creative at heart, but my instrument is the voice. So I just focused on that because I found that very powerful.
All right.
Plus, I talk a lot.
Beautiful, beautiful.
So do we.
It feels like home.
Yeah, this is home. Yeah.
Unless Yaka does the thing. Yeah, but Maritza, and I like that you've shared, there you can have what you have, but you can use it in different disciplines. So how did you discover that you can do all these things with your voice? Was it one thing leading to another, or you just...
You just woke up one day and you go.
Honestly, it's the have multiple sources of income structure that I have so happened to be born in. If I had a choice, I think I probably would just do one job because I don't want to say I'm good at multitasking because multitasking, first of all, is a myth. Husbands, stop lying to your wives. Girlfriends, stop lying to your sugar daddy.
But if she can do multiple things,
you cannot.
What do we call it?
Multitasking is a myth. Something is always suffering. And my life is actually proof of that. So when I discovered, I was very interested in theater arts from a very young age. But then again, sometimes being born in the wrong, I wouldn't say wrong country, but in a country where certain things are for bayai.
And as we usually say, when you say I'm a Ugandan,
I'm a Ugandan.
That is a qualification.
Great. So the Uganda took a while to actually discover, the path in theater arts. And when I discovered spoken word poetry, I was like, what? I could do this and make money for the rest of my life? The part that was true was I could do this. The make money part was very questionable. That's how we ended up voice acting. That's how we ended up on radio, actually. The plan was spoken word from day one. So because I was looking for money, I had to figure out what are the other ways my voice can pay me. And emceeing came in, joined the chat. Content creating, joined the chat. Doing voiceovers for documentaries, joined the chat. So I was trying to pay rent. Yeah, and then all these doors open. But even when you look at the world today, it's like it's encouraging you to be good at one thing and giving you many opportunities to still get paid off of that one thing.
That one thing.
Because I've had 11 years to perfect my many voices. And if I do this, by the time I'm 50, will you afford me?
Go
ahead.
Okay, I'll call in favor.
For us, this
People will call in favors, but I'm saying now someone who was born 20 years ago, they've just gotten a job, their first assignment is get us Maritza.
Good luck to them.
Good luck to this 21-year-old. But you get what I mean. So for me, it's always been very important to be really good because I'm very multifaceted. But I had to understand early that not everything God has blessed you with is supposed to bring in money. So there's many things I do for free. Concept creation, I do that for free. Like I use my brain a lot for other things away from the voice. But I do that mostly for free. Why? I want my voice to make me money. And I've been pretty clear on that most of my career.
Like you've talked about all that. I'm curious, at what point in your life did you start working towards your voice being the money maker and the brand?
I think
I know you for your voice.
I think I'd say high school. Because in high school, I started calling myself Maritza.
And why?
So here's the thing. I always knew I didn't want to use my government name.
Dun, dun, dun.
Man, the tax man scared me, Ali. The tax man scared me. The tax man scared me when I was a kid. I was like, let's use another name. Also, I was never really interested in the fame. Like, I didn't want people to know my name, but I wanted people to know my name. I didn't want people to know my business.
Yeah.
But I wanted people to know my name for the work that I did.
Yeah.
So I'm like, separate the personas. I think I did that at about 16. So at the end of the text messaging, I'd sign Maritza.
Yeah.
But it's just Maritza. It's just that we needed to make it sound like this girl knows what she's doing. So we made it Maritza. So I started signing Maritza until one time my dad replies a text message and calls me Maritza. Then I was like,
It has stuck.
this has gone too far. That was my first self-check moment. But then that's really when I started building the brand. And even then, I would recite poetry at assembly. I did a play once where I even won an award for the play. So I always felt that my voice had a space in the money-making business. So I started to just, of course, be in high school and have fun because I understood the assignment. That one, I understood that assignment.
Yeah.
We're here to enjoy life as children. I understood that. So even despite doing that, I was able to make my voice better. I remember being in law school, we had this competition, inter-law society competition. I was in a school where I was one of the pioneer students, and we came 4th place only because let me tell you, I presented rubbish that day. I presented lavish.
The
Lavish. I'm not saying our lecturers weren't good, but they didn't know how to prep us well for moot courts and the kind of debates that we were doing. I went up in front of all these, thousands of university students.
And people are like English.
People even started saying that after Maritza presented, other people changed their accents also. I'm like,
that is
influence. People, I have to express this in Mbogo because I feel like you don't understand. I bet English. Nakuwa Luzungu. And that's the only way we even came. Great. I remember that day so well because I was like, you're a finessa. And we came in 4th place, and I honestly didn't understand why. I surely presented rubbish because I prepped that entire thing by myself. The other students didn't help me. The lecturers didn't help me. You know how things can be for systems trying to figure themselves out. And that's when I was like, yeah, this is real. And literally months after that, I got into spoken word. And I have had no choice but to brand myself by my voice since then.
All right.
So for me, that moment where you came 4th place because you spoke English. Meanwhile, we're like 12 universities. People were saying things that I'm like, wow.
This makes sense.
Yeah.
But the English.
But how they were saying
I was like, I am Martha Bioga representing Cavendish University, Uganda. Great! I felt myself that day. No. That was you guys, I finished campus 10 years ago. The phones were different. But yeah, so after that, I've literally found myself consistently now. Actually, after that moment, consistently, it's been easier to brand myself with my voice.
Yeah.
My voice precedes, then everything else follows.
So, meaning in the process of branding yourself now as Maritza, what did you do to make yourself stand out? Because when we say personal branding and all these things, there are so many routes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for you as Maritza, what was your route like? What did you find and you said, you know what? After I do this, I'll switch
After
to
the
this.
Luzungu, of course.
After the
Because
So my partner calls me a peacock. And the best adjective to use to describe what I did thereafter is peacocking.
Let the feathers out.
I peacocked. That's really what I did. Because
That is somewhere.
you guys, because the voice doesn't come first. When people meet you, the voice doesn't always come first. Of course, when you meet me, because I maintain eye contact when I meet you, sometimes people are attentive to things like that. So already that opened a bit more doors for me. I guess the confidence and the city of danger. That vibe kind of opened doors for me. But then
I had to still stand out before they hear my voice. So I peacocked. I was already mostly eccentric with my fashion, you know, like the Afro-Bohemian style, a bit earthy, but, you know, grounded in head wraps, loud, chunky jewelry. It got to a point that you could hear me coming from 2 blocks away because of my chains. So I was literally dressed as loud as possible. This is after law school, because when I was in law school, I would dress for law school.
Okay.
After law school, longest flowing outfits. You will notice me, by the way. Like, that's literally what I did. I peacocked.
Okay.
So very colorful hair. I had very colorful head wraps. It was really just about, let me get your attention so you can hear me.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so I've explored that in many different ways. Even when I create content, before you hear the voiceover, first catch a vibe. So I use a lot of African prints. I use a lot of cowrie shells. Like, I want to look like I didn't just walk into any store downtown and buy my clothes. I want to look like this is planned, this is intentional. I kind of look like my ancestors, but I'm cooler, you know?
So cool ancestor.
Yeah, I'm a hip, cool ancestor. So that's really where I took my peacocking. And it was very important to me because I've always been the kind of person that stands out. It's just that it wasn't always for the right reasons. So now I had to ensure that it was
for the right
reasons. So fashion played a big role in that branding. And then away from fashion, when things got a bit more intricate, you know, someone hears about Maritza on radio, oh, where can we find your work? Then I started a blog. The blog really helped a lot because back then there was a season where writing your thoughts was not yet offensive. So I used to write some very intricate, complicated things that people in Kampala seemed to enjoy. I was writing literotica. Yeah, I was writing literotica. People enjoyed that. That was great. So that also part of, you know, still using my voice because I was writing. So blogs came in, and after that, the game just got absolutely wild. Social media entered the chat in a way that we didn't have it before. It now became the first go-to when people are checking you out. So I had to make my social media look less like who I really am and more like who I want you to hire.
So when you see it, you're like, this is the person.
Exactly. So when people think eccentric vibes, I think they think of me. I like to believe they think of me. If they don't, we're still in the kitchen. We're cooking.
They're not getting it. They're not getting it.
With the power of ChatGPT, we shall do more. So then it transitioned to that. So I used fashion, then I used my blogs, then now social media. And now we have things like Canva, which have allowed us not to learn Premiere Pro, Photoshop, and Friends. And you can create an entire, just a few weeks ago, I created an entire user-generated creator portfolio. On Canva. Could have done that with WordPress, but now people want to see all your work in one place. You can do that. So now my branding is actually entering spaces of where I want to be hired. So I have to create portfolios. I have to create, you know, a brand kit. Every time someone gets my bio, now they get my logo, my image, so that they don't call me again. Okay, now send us a picture. Okay, now, so
what are your handles?
What are your handles? So from doing all that work to now making it easy for you to hire me. So that's really been the journey.
And
mostly,
I'm guessing, like all things, there are challenges.
You think?
I believe. I believe. Unless you've just had a blast. And for you, things have been non-challenges. Just good time. Peacocking vibes. Just here we go.
Let me tell you something about challenges. People hear my challenges and laugh.
Okay, why?
I genuinely am starting to believe I have had one of the easiest times in media. Because, thank you, Jesus, I received the blessings. I'm not taking them for granted. Because, look at it this way. I start spoken word in 2012.
Okay.
The first time I performed, 3 months later, I'm hosting on one of the longest spoken word platforms, open mic.
Yeah.
That was by August, I was actually hosting open mic. Then I'm hosting open mic, 1.5 years, I get into radio. I say, okay, there's no money here. I need more money. I get into radio. Radio hires me in like 6 months. There's that guy who refused to hire me, but I forgave them because someone else entered the chat. So then that happens. Like in less than 6 months, I have a contract, I have a job.
Yeah.
And then I'm on radio. TV is like, wait, some guy has skipped the country. Do you think you can just sit in real quick on his show, help us? Literally, that's how that happened. Someone was running from Poppy. And I got my first talk show on prime time.
Yeah.
Okay.
At 7 p.m., like right before News and Friends. Actually, that's even prime time for other stations.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's just been, up and down. But in terms of career and having access to jobs and progress, people listen to me and they're like, So that's not to say that I didn't have challenges. Oh, I had challenges, so many challenges. Let's start with the fact that sometimes people hire you and they don't know why they hired you. They don't know what to do with your talent. So you try to explain to them, okay, this, if my art is voice, we can do this with the voice. We can create, these dramas. You can do that. Nursing. Then you maybe try getting voiceover work. So voiceover work is a bit more rigid because a lot of people have what they have in their mind, whether your voice can finesse it or not. You figure it out. Those minor challenges. But I think some of the biggest challenges I've faced, especially in the conversation of branding, I remember my first show. Actually, I can't say my first because I got 3 shows at once. Drive time, my first drive time show. For the 4 years I worked with KK, they never put my name in the show promos.
Interesting.
I'm on air every day, but it was officially hosted by one host. That was one of my, honestly, to some extent, I was like, and they actually said it. The person was like, oh, we don't want to promote them on this. Like, my guy, you don't want to promote me. I be promoting you in my sleep. I wake up every day to promote you. Where's the cross promotion in this? So they actually mentioned that. And at that time, for me, it didn't make sense to me because I guess I was also new to the game and I didn't understand the kind of putting down that they felt was necessary. Usually they do it because they don't want you to get a big head. But do they know who they're talking to? It was born big. There's nothing we can do. So I remember that for me was really, it was a gut punch because I'm not here to get famous. So you're trying to belittle me where it's not necessary. I'm here to learn, I'm here to grow. And I think that's why maybe I stayed as long as I did because I was like, leave them. You're here to learn, you're here to grow. It's about, So all that time, there was no branding. Then I think maybe 2 years later, they gave us visuals. So the only visual branding for the show, that had me attached to it was the visual branding. And that was only in newspapers. You guys, by the time I got a billboard, I think they were just saying, you have suffered enough.
Let's put you.
And that was that was in the 5th year, that was for a completely different show. And even by then, I think they were kind of obligated to because now it was breakfast. So there's a lot of, she doesn't deserve that. Why do you want all that money? They straight up asked me, you're young, what do you want all that money for? I was like, nigga. Anyway, so stuff like that. So you have to, if you're not level-headed, they will get you. They will get you. They'll get you in the dumps. They'll belittle you. They'll make you feel like what you're contributing is worth nothing. And many times it takes a lot of parts to run. I'll give an example of a radio station because that's where I worked the longest. You need your marketing to be working. You need your sales to be working. You need production to be at its best. There's all these moving parts that they make you the presenter, the face of the show, the person who gets harassed when things go wrong. They make you look and feel like You're not adding
on you,
anything.
like-
It's on you, but you're not adding anything.
Yeah.
You're just a small player in this thing.
Yeah.
So they make it feel that way, but the reality is you're the face of the show. If things go wrong, people remember you. They won't remember the sales team. They won't remember. And so when all these parts are also not oiled well, you as a presenter, you also fail. So it's very easy to be pushed under the rug and you just
And you
cry.
stay there.
And you stay there and you just die there. So it's challenges like that.
Yeah.
But again, people don't think I've had challenges.
Well, that sounds like a pretty huge challenge if you ask me.
Bruh, like it happens a lot. It happens a lot.
Yeah.
You have to fight for yourself, but in a way that you're not too aggressive when you do it. Otherwise, how could a woman? You're forgetting you're a woman? And then also, not even really know. Actually, the know your place conversations have been there. Just that they go over my head. They are actually there. Like you'll sit in a meeting and someone will tell you, you're outdoing the show lead. And it's like, is it my fault you picked a weak one? I am literally just doing my job. So like small challenges like that. So you have to be level-headed. You have to know what you came to do. You have to know how you do it. That is so important.
Yeah.
You have to know how you do what you do, because if you don't, they will
Yeah, that's how
they'll
you
dilly-dally you. They won't pay you what you're worth. They'll make you do more work than you should actually be doing for very little pay. Yeah, so you need to be level-headed, you guys.
Headed.
Yeah.
And you know, so we like to actually ask this to our guests. If you had the rewind of life, would you do this again?
Honestly,
if you had the shot at another career, would you switch or would you still pick the voice?
I think I'd still pick the voice. 100%. Like, I know people are going to call me lazy for this. Listen, my primary school teacher has called me lazy from day one.
Yeah.
Kumbe I was smart and I was very hardworking. It's just that my methods are different.
You're looking for the easiest way to do things.
Thank you. Thank you. So I would do voice number one, and I think everyone should venture into skills of their person. Are you great at creating concepts? Find a career in that. Are you great at tasting things? Great. Do you know how much the Cadbury's taster gets paid? Serious money. Anyway.
I'm going to see these guys who test wine.
Yeah.
You're like, bro.
He's trying to spit wine out.
So also, I think the older I get, the more I realize I feel like communication is the ultimate job.
Yeah.
Because there's I think it's the Aboriginals, they have kept their history verbally for over 50,000, like for many years, insane amount of years. And that is something that you can do. You can actually change lives, create, maintain history, do so many things with storytelling. So voice 100%. I can work 4 hours and leave your company and go and do my own things every day, Monday to Friday. And you don't call me Saturday and Sunday. I will do that job again. With all its problems.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So if you still here,
That's nice.
this has been Maritza, and because we love you, she's going to be leaving a workbook specially for you about personal branding, about insights from her space. It's a personal experience again. And if you haven't hit subscribe, bruv,
What you waiting for?
Down there. And share the link. And then there is the problem of Dan. And this problem.
It's not a problem, my guy. It's not a problem.
Okay.
It's not a problem. It's important.
Spill the tea.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's a newsletter, all right? Much as, yes, we have a workbook by Maritza, we also have another community that exists away from this one. And that comes in the form of a newsletter, which we release every month, created by yours truly. All right. So in the show notes or in the link down in the description, you want to find, it's a link that enables you to subscribe to our newsletter. Once you subscribe, we will let you know that you have subscribed with an email, and then you receive that newsletter every end of month.
Yeah. So,
Right?
As we wrap it up, it's been good.
It's been good having you here.
Yeah.
It's been great. It's over.
We need to bring
For
it
now.
back.
For now, eh?
Yeah, for now. We can't continue after.
I still have things to say. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, she actually had a question,
I have 2-in-1 question. Two
Yes.
for the price. Anyway, whatever.
Two for the
One
price of
question,
one.
but 2 answers.
Yes.
All right. Who makes the personal branding rules? Because while we're out here peacocking, we might be breaking certain rules. And then is it possible to actually stay authentic in your personal branding when you're branding and speaking to different audiences?
Okay.
Branding for...
Just take the first one.
I would say rules. There are no rules.
Hey.
These things are not science. It's for trying. Try and error. Shoot your shot, see what sticks. Because at the end of the day, the market tells you what it wants, what it needs.
Yeah.
So most times we doing a lot of copy and paste, but rather than doing test and stick. Once it sticks, document, adopt it. Once it sticks, document, adopt it. If it doesn't stick, move
let
it.
it go.
So it might work for someone else, but it might not work for you. So that's why for us, we did conversations of marketing in a casual way, because most marketers are always
Very serious.
and that's why we picked.
That's why you come here in t-shirts and show.
Yeah, so pick what works for you, but pivot and observe, because don't do what you feel like. Let the market tell you what works.
Yeah. And it's
So
on
the
that,
market sets the rules.
yes,
Okay.
yes. But so also on that same backdrop that I answer your second question, which is it's yes and no. All right? It's good to be authentic. It's good to be your authentic self and who you are. But you also need to understand that you're not ice cream that everyone loves. Or you're not alcohol.
Can I be cool bar?
Maybe a particular flavor of Cooper. So you need to be able to adapt to situations, to people, to audiences, because you might have a part of what they look for or part of what they need. Now, to make it a wholesome thing, you might have to adapt yourself. But it's also important to always keep a bit of authenticity in yourself. And whatever it is you do. Going back to the example of what we're doing on the channel, is we love marketing, we love to talk about it. We are authentic in the fact that we like to have a good time.
Yeah.
That's why there's always laughter on this. There's always laughter here.
Yeah.
But we also know that at some point we have to get serious and discuss serious matters because it calls for it.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, we've had a lot of no's and yeses for guessing, but this one took a shot and said yes. So,
Yes and no.
yeah.
Who says no?
It's a
You know those challenges we are talking about?
Hey, this is the major one. Yo, like it's very easy to say yes to this because I get to learn. You guys, first of all, give us free information.
Yeah.
I don't know if people are taking note of this. And then on top of that, it's a good time. Like, I would never say no to this.
Yeah.
But if you book early, I can't say no. If you book last minute, I might have to say no.
Yeah.
I don't use these words against me. But no, thank you for having me. This was lovely. This is dope. I like talking about personal branding because I'm not the best spoken word artist there. I'm not the best radio presenter, but I can make it look like I am.
Which is important. Very important.
And I think really that's the goal in life. Like I wake up every morning and I hear birds, and really what they're trying to do is just mate, and they put in so much effort, so much color, so much charisma, and all they are saying is Jangu ano. If they can say better, you know, if they can put in that much work, I mean, so can we. And I feel like people need to take their branding seriously. That's been actually one of my issues with artist communities.
Yeah.
We're very chill because I'm an artist inspired by the gods. I look like it, you know what I'm saying? Look like it. So yeah, you can follow me. I am on all social media platforms. I have a link on every platform. If it's Twitter at MamaKLA, Instagram mama.kla, and TikTok as well. And you can just follow everything that I'm doing. I have a masterclass for people who want to join spoken word.
The link will be in the description.
Yeah. And in that masterclass, I also speak a bit about personal branding, finding how to find your voice, how your vision can help all that. And yeah, it's a good time. So come.
Yep. See you on the next one.